Hello everyone, I'm Typhon, and in this video I'm going to talk about a magazine that I really love. It's called Horizon, Magazine of Arts. This was published from 1958 to 1989, so it had a run of just over 30 years. And I couldn't find much information on the internet about it. There's no YouTube videos, and it's a pity because it's such a good periodical. So why this magazine is so important? Even though it's a US based magazine, it has a global reach. So in addition to like a lot of articles on the US, UK, Western Europe, it has a lot of articles on Far East, on like Middle East, on Australia. So it has a really good coverage, and the articles are really good. They are written by like prominent authors, famous photographers are featured. So it really stood the test of time. When I read the articles, they're still very relevant today. So that's one reason. The second reason is the amazing quality printing. So there's a lot. The pages have different papers inside for different types of content. So photographs are printed on different paper. The articles, the text is printed on different paper. The artwork, like paintings, are printed on different paper, and I'm going to show you a few of the examples later on. But the printing quality is really good. You can see that there was a lot of effort put into producing this magazine. And then the final reason I love this magazine is its design and minimal Zen-like design. You've seen the cover just now. There's not much on the cover, just like the detail of an artwork. There's gilded title of the magazine, and then there's like a date on the bottom right corner, and there's nothing else. There's no price information, there's no like table of contents. So this is a little bit similar to another magazine that I love, which is the New Yorker. The difference between them is this is hardcover, but the New Yorker is softcover, and New Yorker is like on a smaller format. But the covers for these are like really good. You can use them as like as a decoration just by itself. Yeah, so let's move on to showing some of the inside pages for this magazine. So this is the first issue of the magazine from 1958. On the cover is a balloon, Age of Exploration. It's very fitting for this new magazine. Let me show you a few of the pages. This frontispiece is a caravel taken from a painting by Peter Bruegel, the Dutch artist. And this is the foreword of the first issue of this new magazine. Let me show you some of the other pages inside. There's one section on the Dutch art. The golden age of the Dutch Republic. And then there's some paintings that are printed really nicely. But there's also some like nature photos. The colors are really lively, and this paper is different from the paper that we just saw in the beginning, where they printed the text, where they have the text. So this paper where the photo is printed is very different. And then this paper is also like it's a bit yellow, and it's a different paper than this one, for example. Here's another issue. This is from 1961, and the reason why I love this issue is it has a lot of Chinese art, Chinese paintings, reproductions. So it starts from here. On this side, on the left side of the page, it explains how they were reproduced, how they were printed. So apparently it's printed reproduced by Albert Squire. I think he's like a Swiss art publisher, and it tells about like how they came about photographing these artwork from Taiwan. It was called Formosa back then. How they photographed it and how they created the engraving and then printed it. The engravings were done in Switzerland, and then they were printed using a special printing process. They are really well printed, and I think they have it like this, where you can take it off and mount it into, frame it and mount it, and like put it in, hang it in your room or something. It's very beautiful. This issue is from 1961. It has a bit of a water damage, humidity damage on the left side of it, but it's still pretty good. And the reason I wanted to show it was due to a lot of pretty cool photos of Britain that I really liked. They're very well printed photos, even the details, you can see the details in them. These are also really nice prints. These are like Middle Ages. These are paintings from Middle Ages. It's from a French painter called Jean Fouquet. These are also like, you can also take them out and frame them. It's really pretty to look at. And then lastly, let me show you on page 106, 2 Spains of Don Quixote. So just to show you like the reach and depth of the articles in this magazine. And this paper is also different to the one that we just saw, and the text is very readable. And the images are quite nice to look at. And then lastly, La Dolce Via. I wanted to show this because I feel, I think this magazine is way ahead of its time, in where like it talks a lot about communities and like livable streets and people just enjoying their neighborhoods instead of like the suburban culture that was developing in the United States at that time. This issue, this is from spring 1966, and what I like about this issue is some bird paintings, really. I don't know if you can see it, but the colors are really lively and the details are easy to see. Like, it's very detailed. Of course, I don't know the originals. I haven't seen the originals. So this is from a American painter called John James Audubon, self-styled American woodsman. So I haven't seen the originals, but these are beautiful to look at as it is, as printed on this magazine, in this magazine. This is an article about architecture. So since this is an art and culture magazine, they also have a lot of articles on architecture itself as well. And the other thing is, of course, photography. And these are photos taken by Araguler, who is a Turkish Armenian photographer from Istanbul, who I actually met and who died a few years back, sadly. And last but not least, this is a issue from 1971. So it's now quarterly. Every season there's one issue that's printed. And the good thing, the really good thing about this issue is that it came with a kind of insert, a supplement. And this supplement is really nice. It's basically a supplement for an article inside this magazine. It's about London in the time of Samuel Pepys. So Samuel Pepys is a British British person who wrote a diary during like 1600s. So he also witnessed a lot of different important historical stuff and wrote about it in his diary, and including the Great Fire of London in 1666. So this is a photo of, this is a poster or engraving, I guess, from those times, and it was engraving was made by a Prague-born Wenceslaus Holler, and it's pretty good. I wanted to actually frame this, but it's really long, so it's really hard to frame it. So this is the globe, which has been reconstructed. You can see in London South Bank when you go there. St. Paul's Church. It doesn't look like this anymore, St. Paul's Church, because it was burnt down during the Great Fire of London, and they rebuilt it with Christopher Wren, the architect. This is the bridge. It's the only bridge, and it's called the London Bridge right now, and it used to have houses on it, which is really interesting. This bridge is also there right now, but it's been rebuilt, so the tower still stands. Yeah, it's really huge supplement. And what else I can show you? There's some really good articles about like what is an Arab. It's very, I feel it's fairly objective. The Prophet might be a tough topic to write about at this time. And then there's also this part is what is a Jew? What is a Jew? I guess this is also hard to talk about somewhat. And then the Pepys article, the Samuel Pepys article. Samuel Pepys was a really interesting person. I hope you enjoyed this video.